In an era where political gambits and regal traditions collide with breathtaking audacity, Britain finds itself teetering on the edge of a seismic upheaval. At the heart of this tempest stands Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner, a figure now etched into the annals of infamy following an unprecedented confrontation that has set tongues wagging and pulses racing across the nation. What began as a bold vision to erect 1.5 million homes has spiraled into a saga of royal defiance, bureaucratic chaos, and a countryside under siege. A tale so astonishing it demands the attention of every citizen who dares to care about the future of this land. Love Britain? Then subscribe now. Don't let our countryside fall, our heritage fade, or our dreams crumble. Your click is your stand for this great nation. Do it for Britain, now! Picture the scene, the hallowed halls of Buckingham Palace, a bastion of monarchy steeped in centuries of decorum, suddenly breached by the thunderous footsteps of Angela Rayner. In a move that defies belief, the Deputy Prime Minister reportedly stormed into the royal residence, her eyes blazing with the fervour of a zealot, demanding that King Charles III bend the knee to Labour's audacious housing manifesto. Witnesses, still reeling from the shock, claim she brushed aside protocol like a discarded rag, insisting the monarch publicly anoint her plan to construct 1.5 million homes within a scant 5 years. The air crackled with tension as palace officials, aghast at this breach of sanctity, summoned security to eject Rayner from the royal domain. Escorted out under the stern gaze of guards, she left behind a nation gasping in disbelief. Was this a heroic stand against the shackles of tradition, a fearless champion seizing the day? Or was it the reckless flailing of a politician drowning in desperation, her grand promises crumbling beneath the weight of reality? The incident has ignited a firestorm of debate, splitting Parliament, pubs, and parlours alike. Some hail Rayner as a modern-day Boudica, fearless in her pursuit of justice for the housing-starved masses. Others decry her as a reckless upstart, trampling sacred boundaries in a bid to salvage a sinking ship. Whatever your stance, one truth is undeniable. This breathtaking spectacle has thrust Labour's flagship housing pledge into the crucible of public scrutiny, and the flames are only rising higher. Labour's vow to deliver 1.5 million homes in 5 years is no modest ambition. It's a Herculean feat that promises to reshape the very fabric of Britain. Championed by Rayner, this plan hinges on the newly minted Planning and Infrastructure Bill, a legislative juggernaut designed to slice through bureaucratic red tape and unleash a construction boom unseen since the post-war era. Rayner has staked her reputation on this vision, pledging to oversee the greatest building surge in a generation. Her words ring with the fervour of a prophet, yet skeptics sneer that this is no divine revelation. It's a mirage shimmering over a desert of broken promises. The numbers alone are staggering. Britain currently erects some 200,000 homes annually, a figure that must soar to 300,000 each year to meet Labour's astronomical target. Experts, their brows furrowed with doubt, warn that this leap is not merely ambitious, it's borderline fantastical. Steve Turner, the esteemed executive director of the Home Builders Federation, has offered tepid praise for the planning reforms, conceding they might ease some constraints. Yet he delivers a chilling caveat: without sweeping additional measures, the supply of homes will stagnate, leaving Rayner's dream dead in the water. Reforms alone won't conjure miracles, he cautions, his words a dagger to the heart of Labour's optimism. And then there's the human cost, the untold thousands of prospective homeowners gazing longingly at a market that mocks their aspirations. Mortgage costs have skyrocketed, affordable lending has evaporated, and land prices remain an immovable titan, binding developers in chains of economic impossibility. First-time buyers, once the lifeblood of Britain's property ladder, now languish in the purgatory of perpetual renting, their dreams of ownership fading like mist over the moors. Rayner's plan, for all its bombast, offers no clear salve for these wounds, leaving critics to howl that Labour is peddling hope as hollow as a drum. But the true powder keg lies beyond the cities, where Labour's ambitions threaten to engulf the countryside in a conflagration of concrete and cranes. Rayner has unsheathed a radical weapon, the stripping away of protections for Britain's cherished green belt land. Under her edict, vast swathes of rural splendour, those rolling hills and ancient hamlets that have defined the nation's identity, face the bulldozer's wrath. Opponents have dubbed this Labour's war on the countryside, a phrase that reverberates with the anguish of a people betrayed. They warn of historic villages obliterated, their timeless charm replaced by soulless sprawl, as developers descend like locusts upon a harvest. Imagine it, quaint settlements, their church spires piercing the sky for centuries, reduced to rubble in the name of progress. The historic status of these rural gems, once a shield against modernity's excesses, now lies in tatters as Labour fast-tracks approvals for mega-projects. Critics shriek that this is not development, it's desecration, a scorched earth policy that will forever scar Britain's landscape. The government counters that such measures are the bitter pill needed to cure a housing crisis that festers like an open wound. But at what cost? The soul of rural Britain hangs in the balance, and the cries of its defenders grow louder by the day. Compounding this chaos is a planning system teetering on the brink of collapse. The Royal Town Planning Institute has sounded the alarm. Council planning teams, tasked with processing the deluge of applications Rayner's reforms will unleash, have hemorrhaged 25% of their workforce in the past 5 years. Understaffed and overwhelmed, these beleaguered departments face a Sisyphean task, pushing the boulder of Labour's ambitions uphill only to watch it roll back in a cascade of delays and bottlenecks. Construction, already a lumbering beast, will grind to a halt without the manpower to grease its wheels. Parliamentary sages have joined the chorus of doom, branding Labour's 5-year timeline a wildly optimistic fantasy. The Housing Forum, a titan of industry insight, has delivered a verdict as cold as stone. Hitting 1.5 million homes in half a decade is a pipe dream. Anna Clark, the Forum's Director of Policy and Public Affairs, minced no words in her address to MPs. We might reach this target in 10 years, but only if we act with ruthless urgency now. Her warning echoes like a thunderclap, a stark reminder that time is Labour's fiercest foe. Undeterred, Rayner has unleashed a salvo of radical measures to crush opposition. The dreaded NIMBYs, those not in my backyard campaigners who guard their locales with ferocity, are now in her crosshairs. Under Labour's new rules, local planning committees, once the beating heart of community input, will see their powers gutted. Decision-making will ascend to the lofty perch of government officials, unelected mandarins wielding the axe of approval over projects that dwarf local will. Fast-track processes will steamroll objections, prioritizing Labour's housing quotas over the voices of the people they claim to serve. To some, this is a masterstroke, a decisive blow against the parochialism that has throttled development for decades. To others, it's a chilling power grab, stripping communities of their right to shape their own destinies. The countryside braces for an onslaught of unchecked urban sprawl, as Rayner's vision threatens to pave over dissent with the cold efficiency of a dictator's decree. Will this iron-fisted approach deliver the homes Britain so desperately needs, or will it sow the seeds of a rebellion that topples Labour's House of Cards? As the dust settles from Rayner's royal rampage, Britain stands at a crossroads. Labour's housing crusade promises salvation for a generation locked out of the market, yet it teeters on the edge of catastrophe. The palace incident has laid bare the fractures within the party's narrative. Boldness bordering on madness, ambition clashing with practicality. Industry titans, rural guardians, and weary citizens alike watch with bated breath as Rayner doubles down, her resolve as unyielding as the steel she seeks to erect across the land. Will this be remembered as the moment Labour forged a new Britain, rising from the ashes of a broken system? Or will it mark the beginning of their unravelling, a cautionary tale of hubris dashed against the rocks of reality? The clock is ticking, the stakes are colossal, and the nation demands answers. Angela Rayner has rolled the dice in a gamble that could redefine her legacy and Britain's future for generations to come.